Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the Goblin Slayer TRPG. If you haven't seen part 1, featuring this role-playing game based on the popular fantasy series, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to start taking a look at character creation, putting great emphasis on ability scores and basic scores, because I think it's very important to understand this aspect of the game, in order for you to make sense of the different checks, rolls, etc. First, when it comes to character creation, you have simple creation. All you have to do is choose a template. You have different pre-generated character templates, and you only fill out a few details. Then you have normal creation, which is creating your character from scratch. So it mostly depends on you wanting to get started right away by choosing one of these character templates, or maybe you want to create every single thing about your character. I think that's more fun. That's just me, I really like to flesh out every aspect of my character. Now, when you take a look at the included character sheet, you may feel a bit overwhelmed or intimidated because of all of these sections and subsections, but keep in mind that those different compartments of the character sheet are there to serve as a useful reference to know what sorts of modifiers you need to add when you make your rolls. This system is actually deceptively simple. It's a system of semi-complex inner mechanisms with a simple execution. You roll 2 6-sided dice and you add modifiers, that's it. But there is a certain granularity, or rather a level of detail, when it comes to the composition of your character. And that's why we need to understand ability scores and basic scores. Ability scores represent the might, or physical, mental, and emotional talent of a player character. There are actually 2 types of ability scores: primary ability scores and secondary ability scores. The 4 primary ability scores are strength, psyche, technique, and intelligence. And the 3 secondary ability scores are focus, endurance, and reflex. Let's talk a bit more about those separate scores. Strength is all about physical might and sturdiness. Psyche, or psych, well, I guess you could call it psych. Psych represents strength of will, or the power of your charming attitude or personality. Technique represents deftness of hands as well as quickness. Intelligence represents quick-wittedness and sharpness of perception. When it comes to the secondary ability scores, focus represents how well the player character can concentrate on something. Endurance represents how well the player character can keep something going or maintain something in a certain state. Reflex represents how well the player character responds to sudden changes. So it is by combining these primary ability scores with the secondary ability scores that you will obtain the basic scores. Therefore, if you combine strength with focus, this is used for active actions related to muscle strength or physical strength. If you combine strength with reflex, however, this is used for instantaneous actions or passive responses related to strength. And so forth it goes. If you combine technique with reflex, this is used for instantaneous actions related to dexterity or nimbleness, and for passive reactions that test physical reflexes. In the case of intelligence endurance, this is used for continuous actions related to wits, intelligence, or attentiveness that take place over long periods of time. I find this very realistic. Sometimes, or rather oftentimes, many things that we do in real life, they combine different attributes from ourselves, different parts of our physical and mental constitution, or rather build. So maybe you want to lift something really heavy for a long time. You're going to need both strength and endurance. Even if you have really good physical condition, if you're not strong enough to keep that, let's say, a boulder up, then your arms are going to give in and you're going to drop that boulder. You won't be able to hold it up But what if you need to dodge something, some sort of trap or hazard or anything? Then you would need technique reflex. If you do not have a polished technique, even if you have great reflexes, you won't have the economy of movement, the coordination of your body with your breathing to get out of the way in time. Even if you react, even if you are aware that you need to do something, if you lack in technique, reflexes won't be enough. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to take a look at status and advancement. We are just getting started with character creation. I think it is very important to understand these fundamental principles. I really like the level of detail. It makes sense. For example, someone who doesn't properly exercise his or her body, your brain won't receive the same benefits as someone who has been exercising, and the oxygen flows quicker, more easily to your brain. You think better, faster. So in the case of an intelligence endurance check, this is very logical. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending right through RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.